Overjoyed with the success of having my failed younger brother removed from this patch on my neck, I decided to blow off some steam by playing Mario Kart and beating somebody else to second place. Until I saw it. My Nintendo Switch Online membership had expired. Heartbroken and on the verge of suicide, I run to Mommy's purse, and as I look at myself in the reflection and see my dirty, greasy face, I notice the option for the expansion pass. Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass, for those that don't know, is an addition to the existing Grift Rambo those bastards behind Pikmin. It adds 2 new retro libraries to the console, the N64 and the Genesis. Now, to get out of the way for all the smartasses in my comments, you've probably already heard about these catalogs to death. It's a pissing match we already knew the end to. As much as I'd love to read the 97-page screenplay to modern-day Elephant Man with too much free time and hyperfixation versus the malnourished rat people they have working 12-day crunches to spruce up the Nintendo Switch Online bonuses, I think it'd be better to get into something else. DLC, done lugging this cock. To justify putting multiplayer behind a paywall and then raising said paywall further, Nintendo has decided to sprinkle a couple breadcrumbs into the pins of fans and allow them access to new DLC for Animal Crossing New Horizons and Splatoon 2. And recently they announced that Mario Kart 8's corpse was looking a little too peaceful, so you're getting some of that too in the divorce case. That's right, you animal. Nearly 10 years after launch, Mario Kart 8 is getting DLC for whatever goddamn reason. And that's what won me over. Considering I already have Animal Crossing New Horizons, Splatoon 2 fans, I'm not a virgin, it wouldn't let me get past the title screen. I thought it'd be a good chance to check this out and let people know who are interested in the expansion pass what they have set for themselves. Mario Kart 8 is the universal sign for help me, I can't socialize properly, take a Joy-Con. I say that with love, believe it or not. Nothing is clearer to our fellow man than the fucking rage of getting blue-shelled at the line and some lame fuck from another time zone barely scraping past. So when this new DLC was announced, it was a big move in the autism community. Promised with 48 tracks in the span of a year through timed waves, this is a real dick slap to the face of anyone hoping for more Smash mains. Double so for anyone hoping Animal Crossing would be getting any further updates. How dare you ask for more? Now get back to pulling banana peels and saying it's stick drift. Nintendo has a really cool way of mitigating whining before their release. It's called they don't breathe the word unless instructed to, or if Doug Bowser jumps from the building. By that time, the guy from Outlast has been torn to pieces in the underground facility, while the guy who came up with the Wigger Wednesday tweet escapes. Anyways, this is probably how they were able to get away with announcing a full set of brand new tracks, only to lay it down that most of them were repurposed from the stem cells of Mario Kart Tour. There's a very weird bar of quality for all of them. Weird in the sense that it's never the same fucking bar. Weirder that you can't even really group the weaker maps into a single category. Put back the paper hats and Little Caesars, guys. No blame game today. Where you have something as disastrously ugly as Amsterdam, you get a surprisingly fun and detailed New York or Paris. For your revamped DK Summit with Extra Monkey, you get Shroom Ridge with revamped Disappointment. And with your main course of a lovely Yoshi's Island, you are offered a side of shit on Merry Mountain. Flying off the side of 4 versions of Rainbow Road and shouting my favorite protected minority group has helped me grow, I believe. That's not to say I don't enjoy the DLC, though. I think it's actually pretty tight getting a new game's worth of content flushed past my prostate. What would have made normally for the world's most disappointing sequel oddly makes up as the best side content. But aside from just price value, these play well too. It's standard Mario Kart affair, go figure. Some old, some ports from the World Tour, and new tracks altogether. Surprisingly to me, extra characters too. Talk about a post-hate sex kiss. Overall, I'd say go for it. If the biggest mixed bag in the world doesn't fly with you, maybe Birdo will. New Horizons is my nut box. Born from tragedy and housing several ugly children, it fills me with love and hate. Like many, I fell off after finishing up the base game. Minor updates and seeing everyone crash the stock market to flood their islands with hundreds of designs made it increasingly more daunting to jump back in. But when I finally caved and reminded myself I couldn't sell my soul twice at the Nintendo-approved price of $69.99, I went for it and was sucked immediately right back in. Biggest thing was probably wanting to see myself finally wrap up the museum and fire Peggy the hard way. But soon it spiraled to, fuck it, let's make a lake. The DLC was a big help in pushing me into this fight-or-flight motion. The basic gimmick is, what if you could design houses without having to worry about bells and moral constraints? A fun time. That's what you get when you mix those two. I couldn't begin to tell you the fun I had living my dream of being a personified monkey's paw for any idiot unlucky enough to be in my gaze. In these homes, you're given a much larger set of tools to personalize each home, including partition walls, support beams, soundscapes, and even ambient lighting. If you've been taking matters into your own hands and making pretend restaurants/facilities on your own personal island, this DLC will set you and all of your generational silly nonsense straight with actual functioning alternatives, ranging from schools, shops, and even a hospital. I set Apple as the doctor, and seeing someone who I know for sure went in for a concussion leave with a character band-aid on their hand gives me all the assurance I needed to assume that I'm doing the Lord's work. And just like for the base game, when you've wrapped up all the story beats, you get some actual beats from KK gliding along the coast to congratulate you and your team for arguably making the lives of these people much worse. This one really doesn't have an ending though, since no one has the gumption to ask you to politely yet firmly leave. Some bonus in perks is being able to trade in the pay you've made so far in the form of Pokey into something useful like bells. But you can only trade 15,000 per day. Damn! Yeah, I know, but it's still a much easier way of actually making enough money to get anything done on the main island. No, I don't know what month it is. Massive pro tip, if you visit one of your previous homes and just start talking about renovations to the home, finish up immediately and go back, you can farm 7,500 Pokey each. Another perk is being able to take what you've learned and force it on your mainland villagers. Again, really solid bonus to the expansion pass, but this one I think would have been wiser to just buy outright. With the Mario Kart DLC, if you have the standard online pack, you're able to play the new tracks at random with online players. For this, you're jeopardizing the easiest profit venue and strong building tools when your subscription ends. So that's where this ride ends. Adoration for the actual projects, and then confusion at the delivery. This would have made much more sense to just let people own the DLC instead of leasing it out for a strange trial run, but still good all around. Buy the DLC and emulate what you don't already have from the standard online pass. Moopin Gang 64.